My son's best friend from church was recently diagnosed with cancer, and his baseball team let him throw the first pitch in the last game before he started his treatment. They also presented him with this bat, so his dad wanted to build a shadow box to display this and some other baseball things. I'll put a link in the description for the plans to this project. This one's for you, Xander. Now he wants it to be black on the outside with a blue background that matches the team colors. I chose red oak for this project because it has clean grain patterns that will show through very nicely with black stain. I'll start this project by building a simple box and then attaching the memorabilia to the backer board, and then build a door so that he can remove items or swap things out. All right, I'm gonna cut miters on each corner so they all go together nice and seamlessly. And then I'm gonna cut dados in the back for the backboard to fit up into. All right, so the next step is to glue all 4 sides up. I'm gonna use Titebond 2 and band clamps to make sure all the miters are perfectly tight before you put in final clamping pressure. It's also a good idea to have a wet towel handy so that you can wipe up all the glue squeeze out. And you don't have to worry if your corners are exactly perfect because you can burnish them in the next step. So next I need to get the exact dimensions of the backboard based on the dado I cut, and then I'll cut that on the track saw. Nice. Perfect fit. Now it's time to paint the backboard. This plywood is already pre-sanded, so it's just ready for a coat of paint. The paint I chose for this is just the Valspar Duramax. I picked exterior paint because it's super durable. And for the color, we matched this hat, which was part of his team colors. I'm going to use black for the outside of the shadow box, and the backboard will be blue to match this hat. So for the black, I'm going to be using some of this Minwax True Black wood finish, and I'll apply that with a sponge brush. And for the backboard, I'll use this Valspar Duramax exterior paint and primer, so I only need 1 coat. Now that the box is built and set off to dry, it's time to do the frame of the door. First thing I'm going to do is cut out the sides and the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to cut them to width on the table saw, and then I'll go back to the miter saw to cut 45-degree angle miters so that they can all fit together seamlessly like the outside box did. And because I want the frames of the door to be the same width of the box, I'm making these frames 22 inches for the sides by 33.5 for the top and bottom. Now I'll cut them to width on the table saw, and for this I want to use 1.5 inches because I want a little bit of overlap so the LEDs can hide behind that little lip. So I've got this dry assembled, so what I'm going to do is cut a rabbet and then slide in the plexiglass, then assemble and glue the frame that way. It's always good to use a scrap piece just to check to make sure your table saw is set to just the right settings, that it will fit the plexiglass. Now that the rabbets are cut in the frame, it's time to cut the plexiglass to fit, and to do that I'm going to use the track saw. I use painter's tape here so that I can get a nice clean cut, and so I can see my tick mark for my measurements so I can lay my track saw down on it. Now that the plexiglass is cut, we're going to do one final dry assembly to make sure I cut everything right. All right, miters look nice and tight, so now I got to take it back apart and stain all of the frame here and all of the box. All right, so while we're letting the stain dry, we're going to build the brackets that are going to hold the bats and the balls. Now off camera, I made a mock-up of how everything would be laid out, and in doing so, I went ahead and made these brackets. They're essentially story sticks for me now, just made out of plywood, but I'll make them out of the red oak. Now I'll make sure to put some of these in the plans as well, so you can make some just like them. Now that I've got them cut out, it's time to put the curves in them. We're going to go over to the drill press to cut out the curves for the small end of the bat. Then we'll go to the bandsaw to cut out the bulk for the large end of the bat, and then I'll flush trim that to size. The platform for the balls are just a square piece of wood that I rounded over using a corner jig on a router table, and then used a Forstner bit to put a little bit of a recess in there for the ball to sit in. Next, I'm gonna round over some of the edges of these brackets just to make it a little bit softer. Once you've gotten the hanging hardware the way you want it, then it's time to paint it. For me, I'm going to paint it the same as the background, but if you like contrast, then you can do it black like you did the walls. All right, new day, and I got a new do. A bunch of us shaved our heads in solidarity with Xander. I also added a bunch of flair to the shop just to spruce it up a bit. All right, with that out of the way, let's continue with the project. Once the stain dries, the next step is to put a few coats of clear coat on it. Now for this project, I find it easier to spray the clear coat on the door frame before I glue it together, so I don't have to worry about the overspray getting on the plexiglass. Once the clear coat is dry, I can glue up the door so I can set it aside for it to dry while I finish the rest of the box. This is a really delicate operation because now it's time to pull the plastic off the plexiglass, and you really have to be careful not to scratch it when you assemble this door. I also have to be really careful to apply just enough glue so I don't get squeezed out of the miters and onto the plexiglass. It can be cleaned up, but it is a lot more difficult than if you avoided it altogether. All right, I'll set that aside and we'll move on to the next step. So off camera, I laid out all the memorabilia like we wanted it displayed, and then I drilled holes through the backer of the mock-up. Now all that's left to do is lay the mock-up on top of the final version, and then I can just drill the holes straight through. I'll put all the measurements into the build plans in case your layout is exactly the same as mine. Installing the brackets is a little tricky because you need to pre-drill into the oak. The way I do that is hold it in place, drill from the bottom, then secure it with one screw, and then I'll drill the other hole right after that. Now for the brackets that'll hold the bat, I use this foam window seal to keep the wood from scarring the bat. Now to install the backboard, I'm gonna flip it over, put the backboard in, and then pre-drill and install screws through the backboard straight into the frame just to make sure everything is perfectly secure. And that's what she looks like. Testing 1, 2. Did you get that? Once you've gotten the backboard secured, now is a good time to install your hanging hardware. I'm gonna use these D-ring hangers, which can support 30 pounds each, so 60 pounds is more than enough to keep this thing secured. The next step is to install the door, and to do that, I'm gonna use hinges on the top rail, and I'll recess them just to make sure the door sits flush. Satisfying feeling. Test the fit. That looks good. One of the final steps is to install the door to the top of the hinges. Now to do that, I'm going to use two-sided tape on the hinge, get the door lined up exactly where I want it, and then lift the door gently to install at least one of the screws on each hinge. Once it's secured with one screw, I can go ahead and install the other 2 screws. That's not holding. So if the two-sided tape doesn't work, then super glue is not gonna work. I don't like my options. Okay, plan B. Oh, look at that. Nice. All right, moment of truth. Nice. Yep. And the final step is to install the LEDs. Now the ones I picked have a sticky back, so I'm going to hide it just under the lip of the door frame so that it can go all the way around and you'll never see it. The battery pack will be in the center of the bottom so that you can change out the batteries anytime you need to. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not coming off. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, there we go. The plan for the jerseys is to use this foam board that's sticky on one side to get the jersey just in the right spot, looking perfect, and then I'll use this 3/4 inch plywood to give it a little bit of depth and to secure it in place inside the box. Once I've got the jersey looking exactly right, then I'll screw it in from the back of the backboard into this plywood and secure it in place. Yep, that's crooked. And pretty badly. So once I've got the front side the way I like it, then I'm going to fold the jersey over on the back side of the foam board and secure it there with two-sided tape. All right, all that's left is to install the jerseys, hang it on the wall, put everything in it, and then we can light it up.
And here's the final product. I think it turned out great, and Xander really liked it. If you'd like to build one for yourself, click the link in the description below. That's it for this video. We'll see you next time.